Money too. Never pay full price again. Join Hotels Etc. right now and slash your travel and entertainment costs up to 70%. Call toll free 877-967-7283, 877-967-7283, or sign up online hotelsetc.com. That's HOTELSETC.com.
Tune your radio.
Tune in.
Now.
You can tune into this radio station on any smartphone or tablet.
iPhone,
Android,
BlackBerry,
Nokia,
Samsung,
Windows phones,
or whatever you have. Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store.
Tune in with music, sports, news, and comedy.
From over 70,000 radio stations around the world, including this Beasley Broadcast Group station. Check it out at tunein.com.
Or your app store.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Kids follow your lead. Help them stay healthy. Wash your hands. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth. And cover coughs and sneezes. Clean and disinfect the objects you touch often, like your phone, the remote, and doorknobs. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. And if you're the one who's sick, stay home. This station is part of the Beasley Best Community of Caring, and we care about your family. For more info, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19.
You're tuned into WWE AM 1100.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
And we are back with another episode of the number one rated business show right here on the Real 1100 AM with a brand new time. It's 3 p.m. and I got the dope producer in the house, Big Josh.
Not hate me.
How are you doing out there today on this continuation of Election Day? I got a great show for you guys today. I got State House Representative Roger Bruce. He's going to be coming on talking about the election. Also, the mayor of Forest Park, Miss Angelyne Butler, mayor of the year herself, will be joining us. And very shortly, I will have Brad Raffensperger joining the show to talk about the election. How did it go for you guys? One big thing we want to know about, how did the actual voting process go for you guys? So if you're out there, if you're driving around, give us a call and let us know how the voting process went for you. 404-603-8770 gets you on the phone with me. Got a few announcements to get out of the way real quick. If you are out in the Smyrna area and you are looking for a state-of-the-art gym, if you're looking for a new workout place, a new hangout spot, somewhere to get fit, somewhere to go in and get back pre-COVID shape, go see my good friends at Titans Fitness. They are right there at 1834 South Cobb Industrial Drive. You can check them out online at titans.net. Go in and ask for Daniel Stuckert. Tell him you want to be trained by the best. Tell him Kevin Pride sent you, and he might even give you a free training session. Is your business online? Do you have a WordPress website? Well, in today's world, if you are not online, then your business is not going to survive. I want you guys to go to fastfixwp.com. Civic.com and make sure you keep that site online and keep it running smooth. Trust me, there is nothing worse than having your site go down when you have a big meeting or have a customer about to make a purchase. So I want you guys to go out and visit Fast Fix WP and rest assured your site will be up and online every time you need it to be. I hope everyone has had a great election day. Unfortunately, we still don't know who the president is quite yet. But joining me right now, we have Secretary of State himself, Brad Raffensperger. Thank you so much for joining the show today. How are we doing today, Mr. Secretary?
I'm doing great, Kevin.
Hey, man. First of all, I have got to commend you. This has been the probably best voting experience I have ever had. I remember probably a few years back voting for in the presidential election with Obama, and I remember standing in lines for like 6 hours, literally. People were getting like pizza delivered, and like yesterday, it was so smooth. It was so easy. I walked right in. I got my ballot. I went to my machine. I casted it. I was able to actually print it out and see it, and then got the whole process done in about 15 minutes. So I got to commend you for that.
Well, thank you. You're not the only voter. We had a new tool that we could measure line times, and we were in the afternoon running a 2-minute average across the state. So many people were actually in lines for 10 minutes or less. So it was a great day for all voters.
Now, I see that Georgia is actually recognized as a national leader in elections. How is it that we were able to gain this title? Is it because of everything that we were able to do up to it? Because I know you did a lot to make sure that we had the early voting going on, and we're starting to count some of those ballots early.
Well, we've had no excuse absentee voting since 2005. We have minimum of 16 days of early voting, then day of election. So we kept all options open. Some states during this pandemic just forced everyone to do mail-in voting. Then we also stood up that absentee ballot portal, which is secure and only took 30 seconds to request an absentee ballot. That was a good thing. And then we started the absentee ballot drop boxes. So you didn't have to rely on the mail service. Plus, if you didn't get it back in time, you always could just drop it off before 7 p.m. last night, in the absentee ballot drop boxes. And then we added ballot tracks so that when you did your absentee ballot application, then you could see where are we in this process. Oh, they received it. Okay, now they mailed it to me, and all that through the process. So put the voter in the driver's seat. And voters love that. And then we have now the new paper ballot system, so that you could touch and feel your ballot, like you just said, before you put it in the scanner, and you felt, I'm sure, a renewed sense of confidence that your vote is going to count.
Now, one thing, President Trump pitched a big fit about this mail-in voting. Do you see in Georgia, was the mail-in voting a problem? And I know you guys had some issues over in Fulton County with that busted water line, but has that actually caused a problem? Is that the reason why we're still counting ballots today?
Well, it's not a problem, but it is one of the issues with the absentee ballot. It's a hand-marked paper ballot, and it's a 2-page ballot, so it just takes time to pull it out of the envelope, lay that ballot flat, and get it ready to scan. So it takes additional time. But the state election board authorized the counties that they could start scanning these ballots 2 weeks earlier. So many of the counties were already in the process of scanning them, and we're in really good shape and very current. So now really what they're scanning today are the ones that were put in the drop boxes in the last couple of days before the weekend hit, and then Monday. And that's why we're going to have, I'm pushing right now the counties to get everything wrapped up by the end of the day. So that's our goal. And we're just continuing to push the counties. We want everything, all results counted today.
Wow. I would be so floored to find out who is actually going to be president today. I don't think we're going to be able to see it as far as like looking at some of the states like Pennsylvania and Michigan. It's kind of hard to tell if we're going to actually know what those results are going to be.
For sure. Well, Pennsylvania just started counting their absentee ballots today. And when you have millions of absentee ballots like they do, it just takes so long.
Now, we have seen a record turnout here in Georgia. Do you think this is just because of this election, or do you think that we have really engaged a lot more people and we got a lot more people interested in our political processes? And is this the new voting here in Georgia?
Well, we have obviously record registrations. We've have a lot of innovations to make it easy to vote in Georgia, but also to make sure it's secure. And that's what's really people. And then it was safe. We took all sorts of safety precautions because of COVID-19. And I think voters on both sides of the aisle were really engaged in the process, and that's what you're seeing. And that's why we had about 4.7 million voters come out and vote.
Now, another big question. I know we've had a huge influx of people moving to Georgia, especially over the last 5 years. I've been here for 15, so I can talk about them. But Georgia has always been a red state with no question. Is this big, huge influx of people that we've seen move to the state, is this the reason why Georgia is even in play at this point?
Well, probably a lot of different reasons. I guess political parties ebb and flow, and issues, move around also. So it's really making sure that your message always resonates with voters. And I do think that we've grown quite a bit, and there's probably just demographic changes and different issues that are important to people right now.
Now, will in future elections, do you think we will see a lot more of the mail-in voting and a lot more of the early voting like we have in this election, or do you think we'll kind of get more back to a normal? Because I got to be honest, Trump is a very inspiring candidate on both ends of the spectrum. So whether you love him or hate him, I really think this Trump Biden thing is the reason why we are seeing such record numbers. But I mean, it's inspiring. But do you think that now people are kind of a little bit more used to the mail-in voting? Do you think we'll see a lot more of that, because it is a lot easier?
Well, I would say that that's probably conjecture right now. Right now, we're still under COVID. People are concerned about their health. But I do think instead of that 4 to 6%, we'll definitely see something much higher, just because now people, we've demystified it, taken some of the, perhaps that quote, hesitation factor away from it. So I think you're going to see more people vote that way. I would love to see more people vote, obviously, the early vote period, because that just helps relieve pressure off of the election day. We also now have that wait line tool that we used it for our internal measurement, but we're now going to push that out next election, so the voters will have that also, so they can see what all the wait times are during early voting and also day of election.
Well, Mr. Secretary, once again, I have got to commend you on an excellent job this election season. With all the rhetoric and everything that was going on, everybody was so nervous about what these results would look like. Georgia has really done an excellent job with this election. And like I said, I've got to commend you for that. And I thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you. I'm grateful for your comments.
Thank you so much, Mr. Secretary of State, for joining us today.
Take care. Goodbye.
We will be right back after this quick commercial break.
Tune your radio.
Tune in
now.
You can tune into this radio station on any smartphone or tablet.
iPhone,
Android,
BlackBerry,
Nokia,
Samsung,
Windows phones,
or whatever you have. Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store.
Tune in with music, sports, news, and comedy
from over 70,000 radio stations around the world, including this Beasley Broadcast Group station. Check it out at tunein.com
or your app store.
This pandemic has many people suffering. Are you stressed? Are you not sleeping well? Are you suffering from neck pain, back pain, or headaches? Chiropractic can help. Chiropractic is a natural healing art that can resolve many of your ailments. Dr. Williams and Dr. Fowler of Align for Life are board-certified doctors of chiropractic with over 15 years of combined experience. They are located in South Atlanta and are available for your healthcare needs.
If you want to be fine, take care of your spine. Visit them at yourfinespine.com.
Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports?
I don't believe it! Oh, it's a touchdown!
Entertainment?
Are you not entertained?
And other special just talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
Wash your hands, avoid sick people, and touching your face. This station and the Beasley Best community of caring want to protect your family. Get everyday prevention tips at cdc.gov/COVID-19.
And we are back. Y'all had an excuse for that abrupt break we had to take because I was not ready to take a break right then. But my guest, Miss Mayor of the Year.
Yes.
Mayor of the Year, Angelyne Butler, is in the house with me today.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
How you doing today?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Thank you so much for coming all the way up from Forest Park.
Thank you for having me.
Y'all got some bad traffic down there. Oh my goodness.
I think that's a Georgia thing.
Well,
yes.
How are you feeling?
Well, personally, I feel great.
Okay.
I am a little bit on edge because we still don't know who our president is going to be, officially at least.
Well, it really looks like he's probably going to pull Georgia out, which I think we all expected that. Yeah. But I think there is some hope with the Loeffler-Warnock race because now they're in a runoff.
They are in a runoff.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you know what? We'll take it. But with the runoffs, we do know that the numbers are usually not as high for a runoff.
That's true.
So we need to make sure we keep the momentum going and get people to the polls on the runoff day.
And another thing, I hope the voting is as smooth as it was. I don't know how it was in Forest Park, but out in Paulding County, I walked right in. Within 2 minutes, I had my stuff. And then I voted in about 15 minutes after I read all this stuff on the ballot. And then I was out.
Oh,
so how was it in Forest Park?
Well, we only run our own city elections.
Okay.
So Clayton County ran this election.
Okay.
And I had not heard any complaints. I mean, no place is perfect, but patience is always required. And we want to make sure that people take advantage of early voting so that we're not bombarded on election day.
Well, once again, I have to commend you on being Mayor of the Year. Now, I do have to wonder a little bit because this is a tough year. So for you to be Mayor of the Year, it's big, okay? But do you think now, after everything that we've gone through, can we finally figure out some type of way to start dealing with this COVID thing seriously? Like now the politics is about to be out of it, hopefully tonight or by the end of the week. What are we going to do moving forward?
Well, sans any legislation, sans any input from government, local or federal, we still have our own individual responsibility.
Okay.
And so let's focus on that, what we can do individually to protect ourselves and our loved ones. Okay. And then also encouraging local elected officials, state officials, national levels to put something in place. And I think that even when we do something as a municipality, it will have a greater impact if the county is involved and on board with that. Okay. That will have a greater impact if the state was on board. And then that will have a greater impact if at the national level, if we were all in unison and in sync, I think we could really combat this pandemic quicker than if we're doing it on our own accord.
Now, with the holidays coming up and these numbers starting to rise, is Forest Park specifically doing anything? Because I know it's other states, especially out on the West Coast, they're doing some super limiting of like gatherings and this type of stuff. Are you guys putting in anything special for the holidays?
So we are November 22nd, and we have our ultimate tailgating experience. So November 22nd, the Falcons are playing the Saints.
Okay.
And so
we better win 2 Falcons because y'all ain't done too well this year.
I'm gonna need you guys to get a couple of more wins under you. But I'm a Seahawks girl, so I mean I could brag here for a moment. But so we're gonna couple our ultimate tailgating experience with a Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay.
But all of our events are outdoors. Even our veterans program, which is coming up next Wednesday, will be outdoors.
Okay.
And so we want to make sure that we keep the spirit of the holidays going. I mean, we're already going through so much. We don't want to take anything away from the residents any more than we have to. So making sure that all of our events are outdoors, wear masks, social distance when possible, practice good hand
I got you.
washing. But yeah, again, going back to our taking care of ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you have a very, very interesting story from the last time we got a chance to speak, and we're going to redo that. But you have a very interesting story, and I think it's so powerful for you to continue to tell it. And it's a lot of the reason why you're a Mayor of the Year. So if you could give us a little bit of your background before becoming mayor and what led you to it.
Yes. So I never know if I should say I am or I was.
Okay.
But yeah, I gave birth to my greatest accomplishment ever at the age of 14.
Wow.
Got pregnant at 13, hid my pregnancy, but learned my first lesson in leadership, which is accountability.
Okay.
And no matter what your actions are, no matter how it may impact someone else, at some point you have to own up to it. So I did.
Wow.
I learned how fickle people can be because even in telling my family that I was pregnant, I heard every negative connotation you could imagine. And unbeknown to them, helps me as mayor because you are as popular, as celebrated or condemned as the next item on the agenda.
Wow.
And sometimes you just got to roll with the punches. And I say that we have to have political amnesia because it's hard.
Yes.
But we have to kind of, we whatever happens one day, you kind of got to let it roll off your back in order to truly be successful the next day.
I can't believe it's folks out there that don't like you. It's folks out there that don't like you.
Can you believe it?
I cannot believe it.
It's
You're
not
my
that.
favorite mayor.
Thank you. Thank
And I
you.
don't even living for us.
I'll take it.
But no, it's inspiring to me. Number one, because my sister went through the same situation. I also had a niece go through the same situation. And a sister-in-law go through the same situation. And the way that you were able to continue to stay focused, stay in school, and do everything it took to become the mayor of a city. I mean, that is something for all young girls to look up to.
I wish I could take all the credit myself, but I can't. So
Okay.
even in that moment when my family came down on me so hard, they ultimately became my greatest champion in the end. And they were the support system that I needed for myself and my daughter to truly thrive in life. And so I would not have been able to do anything without them.
Wow. Now you also secretly, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this on air, but you also secretly are planning to become a doctor here soon, aren't you?
Okay. So, and my daughter may be the first doctor in the family. She's in
Wow.
a doctorate program. So yes.
Well, she ain't got to be mayor at the same time, though.
No, maybe later in life. She has other aspirations, but yeah, so I am going to finish my PhD.
All right.
Either that or I have to take it off my bio.
Now, what did you get a PhD in?
Public policy and administration.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, what is it like being a mayor? Because I have my own political aspirations.
Really?
Now I can start talking about it because I think it's going to be Purdue I'm going to have to run against. But no, I actually want to run for the Senate and run in the 2026 election.
It's right around the corner.
Exactly.
So you're
So
doing
I'm
all the
getting started.
prepping now.
Exactly.
Well, yes, let me know. You definitely have my support.
But what is that like? I mean, what is it like being a mayor on a day-to-day basis?
So if I could be completely transparent.
Please do.
I learned rather quickly there's more to being a mayor than just bringing jobs to the city, than just issuing pay raises or for employees, but there's a whole communal side of it. And for me, there is 3 parcels of land in Forest Park that are cemeteries.
Okay.
And in the Clayton County in the records, it's labeled as colored cemeteries.
Wow.
And so there's a group of people that reached out to me and their families were buried there. And they've been trying for years to just get the cemetery cleaned up. There's no addresses associated with those parcels of land. And so going there, the oldest grave site that we could identify was like in the 1830s.
Wow.
There are Korean War vets buried there. There are Buffalo soldiers buried there. And that brought a whole new element to being a mayor than I ever would have imagined. And there are times where you inherit issues that while it may not have happened under your leadership, it could be corrected under your leadership.
Okay.
And so I find myself doing this administration doing that, righting wrongs that were previously neglected.
Wow.
And that was one thing I did not fully understand before assuming this role.
That's powerful. Now, does the Democrat Republican really play into city politics as much as it does on national or state level?
Well, our races are nonpartisan.
Okay.
So you can choose to put your party affiliation on your when you sign up for the ballot, but you don't have to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Interesting.
Just wonder. I just came back through your city because I was my wife and I took the kids down to Universal for Halloween. So we were just coming back, and I got to spend at least a good 30 minutes sitting right there in your city on 75.
So you saw all of the construction going on.
Y'all are doing a lot.
Well, that's actually state.
Okay.
The farmers market there have this whole push on revitalizing the state farmers market. And I used to think of construction as a negative, but now being a mayor, that's revenue. That's progress. That's forward momentum. So I no longer see it the way I used to. So when you assume office, I need to start thinking like that. That is momentum. That's what you want to see happening.
All right. Yes. Stop being upset by the construction. It's revenue. It's progress.
It's progress.
We got a lot of progress going on out there in Paulding County and Douglasville because they're taking 92 now and they're widening it. It's been a 2-lane all the way for ever since I've been there for about 15 years. And then it runs all the way out to Woodstock, and 92 runs all the way deep down into Fairburn and all those places. And now they're starting to widen those roads, and it has been like over a year just tearing up stuff, construction everywhere.
Yeah, that's a growth.
But it's progress.
And it's beautiful. It is beautiful.
So what do you have in store for Forest Park coming up?
Well, event-wise, we are having our Veterans Day program next Wednesday.
Okay.
And there's going to be a very special keynote speaker that I am partial to, my daddy.
Oh, right.
Yes. We have our ultimate tailgating experience coupled with our a Thanksgiving dinner. November 22nd, we're having a toy drive on December 19th, I believe. We have over $150 million worth of investments coming to Forest Park. And I promise you, the day that I could say these names, I am going to shout them. Non-disclosures kind of have you tight-lipped here. We have townhome development opportunities coming, $300,000 townhome development opportunities coming to Forest Park. We have another development opportunity possibly coming on Main Street really soon.
Wow.
I mean, you name it, we have it going on. We are finally operating in our destiny.
Now, are you seeing this big influx? Because people are leaving the cities in droves now, especially with them not having to do having to actually go to these jobs every day and this type of stuff. So we're seeing a huge influx or outflux, I guess you would say, of people leaving, Atlanta and these major population centers to move to the smaller towns. Are y'all starting to benefit from some of that?
Once we bring our housing stock up to par, absolutely. Absolutely. And we welcome it.
Okay. What kind of businesses you trying to bring to Forest Park? Because I got some other friends as mayors, and they known for certain type of businesses in their area. I think I know you know who I'm talking about. But
I have no idea who you're talking about.
What kind of businesses are you looking to bring to Forest Park?
So we want business diversification. Sometimes when you have communities of color, you're oversaturated with certain types of businesses.
Okay.
And we're one of them. And so one way that we remedy that is that we have moratoriums. We put a moratorium in place, and then we're having restrictions. So it's per person. Oh, I'm trying to think of the term. But it's or a distance between certain businesses, so they're not on top of each other.
Okay.
But I mean, we don't have a coffee shop in Forest Park. Really?
I can't believe that.
I know. So if you know of anyone interested in opening up a coffee shop, send them my way. And we have a gym that I don't think is open yet, but very, very soon. So we're excited about that. And we want some white tablecloth dining in Forest Park. That is definitely needed. We don't have a smoothie shop. I love a good smoothie. I have to drive all the way down Jonesboro Road to get me a smoothie.
Oh my goodness.
But it's the little things that we don't realize we're missing until you have to drive to another municipality to enjoy it. And so why not have that in Forest Park?
So why do I want to come to Forest Park? I can't get no coffee. I can't get no smoothie.
But you could build your own.
All right.
There you go. Ownership.
Okay.
A lot of ownership opportunities in Forest Park. So instead of you driving out to go get it, people will be driving to you to go get it.
That is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Now, dealing with this election, we're starting to see a very deep divide in our country. Like, we are almost split 50-50. Do you think either one of these guys are going to be able to do something about it? Like, I think most people have seen who Trump is. And I think the biggest thing that they're afraid of is once he has his second term, that he doesn't have to be reelected, that he's just going to go all
really
out.
Unleash.
But a lot of folks are kind of fed up with the Joe Bidens of this world, too, because you're a career politician. You've been here for a long time. A lot of the stuff you're talking about, you had plenty of time to do it. So do you think either one of these guys are really going to be able to bring this country back together, or is this just where we are from this point forward?
Well, I think of the pair, of the option that is before us, Biden would be the one to do it.
Okay.
I have always been taught that you respect the position, and the person in the position is something different.
Okay.
And I think with the Biden administration, people are really energized about Kamala.
Okay.
And I think she's going to bring that energy that we need. And so Barack Obama had it made a quote famous that he says, change will not wait. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or for some other time.
Okay.
We are the change that we seek. We are the ones we've been waiting for. And so if the two that are before us is not your cup of tea, that's fine.
Okay.
But be that agent of change that you wish to see. And so if they're not your cup of tea this time, then get someone who may be your cup of tea in these positions next time. But change is going to come. And I think we are a lot closer. Last time I looked, I think we're just 2 scores or so away from actually sealing the deal here.
If one of them captures another state, then that's pretty much, if Biden captures Michigan, I think he's going to seal the deal. If Trump picks up Michigan, it looks like he's probably going to get Pennsylvania. He's probably going to get North Carolina. He's going to get Georgia. But Michigan and Pennsylvania seems like, once again, is going to be the deciding factor.
But, Georgia was so close with the gubernatorial race. The cradle of Georgia in Fulton County is blue, but the state itself is red. But we came so close with Stacey Abrams and shifting that.
I mean, honestly, if you look at the turnout in this election, just Georgia, discount the rest of the country, just look at Georgia, and you really look at the turnout, you'll see that this is really, really getting close to being a blue state.
Yeah, we got close to it again, the gubernatorial race. And I think if we don't get it right this time, then I wouldn't be surprised with the next race. It'll be blue.
I definitely think more than likely our next governor is probably going to be a Democrat. if Stacey runs again, I'm almost guaranteeing that she's probably going to end up being the governor this time.
I welcome that. I love it. My Spellman sister.
Now, what else? We got some more stuff to talk about now.
Okay, let's talk about it. Well, how is your family? The girls?
They're doing good. They tired. I'm tired this week. I've been exhausted. Like, I shouldn't even went to work Monday for what I got accomplished. Don't tell my client. But
we won't tell your client.
I know, right? But no, they're exhausted. They're good. And I think everybody is starting to feel it. Like, even my kids are aggravated with the election, with the COVID, just everything going on. It's just this feeling in the air.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say, and one thing I think this election is really starting to show, that we are not so racially divided as we thought. It's more like people are starting to divide amongst ideology versus race.
Yeah.
That's one big thing. Another thing that kind of worries me looking at it, it looks like Latinos are starting to have a bigger voting block than African Americans. That is a little bit worrisome. I love my Latinos. I love y'all, but I don't want to be forgotten, and I don't want us to lose all our power in this country.
Yes. If you look at just about every major movement that we started as African Americans, other demographics and groups will jump on board and help push their agenda, which is fine. But yeah, we can't get lost in the mix. I would love to see our brothers step up a little bit more, or maybe as elected officials, we need to do more. We need to do more to make sure that they are included, that their issues are included also.
But let me tell you something.
I'm listening.
And me and you could talk.
Let's talk.
This black girl magic, all right, is killing the black man. I gotta be honest with y'all.
Oh,
I hate to say it.
interesting.
Even Josh looked at me funny when I said that one. But
I did not.
But it is really because it's like a lot of people talk about this male-dominated society, but it's been a white male-dominated society.
Yes.
And now that we got black girl magic, we forgetting about black boys and black men completely. Let's just throw them to the wolves again. And let's focus on the black woman, which I agree. I got a mama, a wife, and 2 girls. I'm surrounded by women. But but in the same brother, I still want to get mine.
So go get it.
I am getting it, but y'all getting it a lot more, and y'all getting a lot more help than I'm getting.
Well, okay, so there are more support groups for women, women of color, but that does not mean that you can't start one for men. I mean, why do we have to dim our light in order for you guys to shine?
Give it out.
Right?
Dish it
There
out.
is room for all of us. We want you guys to stand next to us. We don't want to be in front of you or vice versa. Stand with us, and we could do it together.
See, I like that mentality. I've been hearing some mentalities out there that, well, we should have been the ones in charge in the first place because y'all didn't know what y'all was doing and all this type of stuff. So I'm just saying, I don't want that to be taken out on me. Okay. I run a business too. But
yes.
What else? We going through stuff so fast
I
today.
know.
You answer too quick. You gotta learn how you gotta get on your politician and just elaborate on stuff and just beat it home.
That's one area I could work on. But no, you answer the question and you move on. Because the more you talk, you might end up putting your foot in your mouth.
I got you.
And that's what we don't want.
Well, Miss Mayor of the Year, we getting close to the end of this. Tell us once again, what do you have for Forest Park coming in the next few years? Like we see the construction, we're gonna get our smoothie shop and our coffee shop and our gym.
Yeah.
But what are some of the other things that you got in store for Forest Park?
So Star Park is our main park in the city.
Okay.
We've had a master plan for several years. And we are one step closer to actually getting dirt turned for that, which is amazing. A public safety complex is coming soon. So we're coupling those projects together, have some bonds that we would like to have issued in order to get that momentum going. And these are projects that have been in the works for eons. And sometimes when we're in these roles, it's not always about reinventing the wheel. But it's just about carrying out the plans that are already there. And I think that's where, when we're up for re-elections and, we vote people in, vote people out. But in that, the plans that we're already developing gets lost in that. And so it's almost like with a new administration, you're starting all over again. And so we're going to keep that momentum going and get these projects started, get some dirt turning. And so there's going to be maybe a little bit more backup in traffic, but just know that it's progress and it's growth and development that we're ushering in.
Now, why are these green spaces and this type of thing so important to cities?
Well, just think, it's a place where you could go with your family. You don't have to spend a lot of money.
Okay.
You're out in the atmosphere and you're just enjoying nature.
Okay.
How would someone not want to take advantage of that? And we have so much. We have like over 80 acres, I think, of parks in our city, a lot of satellite parks.
Okay.
And that's just more opportunity for people to go out and exercise. I mean, when we moved here,
you gotta learn how to roll.
I get sidetracked easily. But yeah, like you could go out and exercise and get some fresh air and just walk with your family. Like that's a beautiful thing. And so we want to take advantage of that.
All right. Mm-hmm. Well, Mayor of the Year.
I like that. Say that again.
Mayor of the Year.
Yes, sir. Thank
Miss
you.
Angelyne Butler. If people want to connect with you or learn more about Forest Park, or if they want to, talk about bringing their business down there, how can people get in contact with you?
You can email me at abutler@forestparkga.gov. You can reach me via phone at 470-898-3188. I am on Instagram. I think it's Forest Park Mayor.
I think it is Forest Park Mayor.
Is it? Oh, I remembered one. I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn. Just Google Angelyne Butler. I'm sure it'll come up.
It's so great that you make yourself so accessible to people and make it so easy for folks to get in contact with, because you can't get the Keisha like that. You ask for Keisha number, they're like, no, you can't get that. But now we definitely appreciate you. We appreciate you coming, speaking to our audience, and just being the wonderful mayor of the year that you are.
Oh, I want to thank you. It was an honor to be recognized. You never know who's watching you. And I mean, sometimes the noise gets so loud that I even lose track of all the greatness that we've accomplished. So thank you for reminding me of the progress that's going on in Forest Park.
No, they're watching, trust me, because I saw you on AJC and CBS and a whole bunch of stuff and I was like, I know where that was taken. I was there.
Well, yeah, depending on why we're on those outlets, it's a whole nother conversation.
Once again, Mayor of the Year, Angelyne Butler. We will be back right after this.
Yes.
Tune your radio.
Tune in
now.
You can tune into this radio station on any smartphone or tablet.
iPhone,
Android,
BlackBerry,
Nokia,
Samsung,
Windows phones,
or whatever you have. Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store.
Tune in with music, sports, news, and comedy.
From over 70,000 radio stations around the world, including this Beasley Broadcast Group station. Check it out at tunein.com.
Or your app store.
This pandemic has many people suffering. Are you stressed? Are you not sleeping well? Are you suffering from neck pain, back pain, or headaches? Chiropractic can help. Chiropractic is a natural healing art that can resolve many of your ailments. Dr. Williams and Dr. Fowler of Align for Life are board-certified doctors of chiropractic with over 15 years of combined experience. They are located in South Atlanta and are available for your healthcare needs.
Auto accident, wellness care, slip and fall. We take care of it all. Visit them at yourfinespine.com.
Wash your hands, avoid sick people, and touching your face. This station and the Beasley Best community of caring want to protect your family. Get everyday prevention tips at cdc.gov/COVID-19.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
And we are back right here on the #1 rated business show, right here on the Real 1100 AM. I have handcuffed the Mayor of the Year to the chair, and she is not going nowhere.
Yes, I'm being held hostage, ladies and gentlemen.
Please don't call your private security on. So checking in on these election results, yes. Right now, we still do not know who our president is going to be.
So we don't, but is it not just completely asinine at the speech that was given last night?
Yes.
The victory speech. So you do a victory speech and then one of planting seeds of doubt as if you like. I don't understand. That seems like an oxymoron to me.
It's like we won Georgia and we won the whole election. Like, dude, why?
He's interesting.
It's like even when you try to just be reasonable with him, he got to go. He just got to go and do something like that. Because like at least when Joe Biden came out and he was like, "Hey, we don't know yet. Let's just wait and let's figure it out." But that was, and I was falling asleep when I saw it. So I kind of woke up in the middle of him saying we won. I was like, oh, Trump won. And then it was like this morning I said, well, hold on, I thought he won. So, wow.
Yeah, then he was like, was it a nightmare? Did I dream that?
Now, are mayoral races this intense?
I think when the early voting period, 3 weeks, that is like cruel and unusual punishment. It is grueling.
Okay.
But it is so much fun in the same breath. Just the anticipation, the buildup, just waiting for that moment to when on election day, those numbers are in, and naturally it doesn't take as long for us to get our results, but just that waiting period is really grueling.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I was sitting there watching it. I started watching it like 4:00 yesterday. So I'm sitting there watching it. I'm just wondering what it's going to be like when I finally get the opportunity to be in one of them type races. It looks like it's nerve-wracking.
It is, but it's so rewarding because you put yourself on the line when you run for office. You're completely exposed and vulnerable.
Okay.
Depending on how ruthless your opponent may be, your family may be exposed, which I don't agree with at all. Like, we chose this route. So coming after us is one thing, but when you go after our circle of influences, our family and friends, that's a whole nother level of low. But some people do that. So you have to be prepared for that also. But again, as long as you run with integrity, I chose to focus on my race and not my opponent.
Okay.
Because they will self-sabotage themselves. So you don't need to exhaust energy on them. Just focus on your platform and just let it all.
Well, you are definitely proof that that way works.
Yeah.
You are definitely proof of that. Joining us right now, I don't think he your state rep. No, he's not your state rep. He my state rep though. Roger Bruce, are you there with me today?
I'm good.
How you doing, man?
I'm waiting on us to figure out who the president is going to be.
Are you watching it tight? I talked with the Secretary of State. He said we still can't call Georgia yet.
No, we can't call Georgia and a couple of other states.
Well, I'm also sitting here with the Mayor of the Year herself, Miss Angelyne Butler, Mayor of Forest Park.
Yes. Hello, sir.
Hey there, Madam Mayor. How are you?
I'm well. So nice to be on the air with you.
My pleasure.
Yes.
Now,
I've been trying to call in. I don't know what's wrong with these phones. We need to work on AT&T.
He's taking notes. He's going to work on that.
I know, right? Now, it looks like Perdue is going to hold his seat. But do you think Warnock has really got a chance against Loeffler, or you think she's going to be able to pull it out in the runoff?
Well, I think it's going to depend a lot on what happens with Georgia. If we get this presidential piece, I think that increases his chances of winning.
Now, it's got to be inspiring just to see, you being a Democrat state house representative. It's got to be inspiring for you guys to see that this turnout and how many Democrats have voted and how close this actual election is, because everybody knows Georgia has always been a solid red state for as long as I can remember.
Well, when I first got elected, we were a Democratic state. And then the 2 years afterwards, it switched over. And we've been Republican ever since. But we're working on it. We just took Gwinnett County. I don't know if you realize it, but
yeah, I heard Gwinnett.
Democrats won everything out there.
They flipped it.
We took Cobb County. And
that one was surprising. Taking Cobb County, that was surprising. I expected Douglas County to go Democrat, but Cobb County, that was surprising.
Well, when you work hard, eventually it's going to pay off.
Absolutely.
Now,
when you do the right thing, you got to treat people with dignity, with respect, and I think people just have had enough. This president has insulted everybody except for the Ku Klux Klan, but everybody else he's insulted.
Now, one thing I mentioned earlier, and it's I don't want this to come out the wrong way, but the Latino voting population is now starting to become a lot larger than the Black voting population, and the main thing that my concern is that I don't want the Black vote to end up getting lost or taken for granted because we're not big enough to sway an election. And now that you're starting to see that I think the Black vote that we saw was about 12% and the Latino vote was about 12 to almost 14%. Do you see that as an issue going forward?
Well, I think that the Latino community and our community have a lot in common. Both have been discriminated against. Both have been put in situations where we are at the bottom of the food chain in some instances as it relates to work, as it relates to communities, as it relates to the government and the services that the government provides. And, it's that community along with our community that works these low-wage jobs and some instances almost no-wage jobs. And so I think that we, if we were smart, we would combine with that community and become one, very large voting bloc.
Another thing I would definitely say is now from looking at the lower races, the House, and congratulations to Nikema because she did win her race, and it does like she will be going to the House of Representatives. But with the Senate, it looks like nothing has really changed. Mitch McConnell's going to stay in control there. It looks like the Democrats are going to retain the House. And whether Joe Biden becomes president or Trump becomes president, you're still kind of dealing with the same issue, don't you think?
Not really, because I think what has happened, well, I hope what has happened, is that all of the folks in Congress, both Democrats and Republicans, Mitch McConnell and all of the others, I'm hoping that if they take anything from what has transpired is that this country is almost very evenly divided. And no matter who wins, I really think that it's going to be imperative for them to listen to everybody and to see what kind of things we have in common more so than those things that we have separated. I really think that the American public has spoken and said we expect everybody to work together for the common good. I think that's really the message that we should take from all of this.
Now, the turnout for this election has just been, this is almost like Obama's first term type turnout. Do you think that we're going to continue to see this many people engaged in the election? And like I was talking to Secretary of State, Trump is one of those type figures. He is very motivating on both ends of the spectrum. So whether you for him, whether you forget against him, he can get folks out to the polls. Do you think we're going to see a continued interest in government like we see now, or do you think this is just to get Trump out of here?
I hope that we will see it, because the circumstances that exist, people still need health care, people still need roofs over their head, they need jobs, the economy has to grow. This virus, we got to bring it under control. So we have a lot of issues that I'm hoping that the new president will address, and doing so, continue to attract people to support the different programs and policies that he and Ms. Harris, put forward. I certainly hope so. I just hope that if we have this continued involvement, that the involvement is not a divided involvement where we have people fighting against each other, but rather that we are coming together for a common cause and telling, all the elected officials, including myself, that this is how we want you to operate. We want you to work together. We want you to do things that preserve life, that, make life better, that educate our children, feed our families, et cetera, et cetera.
Now, one thing I will say that was inspiring to me is that I don't think things are so racial as a lot of people are trying to put it, because as you can really see, as you start to look down the electorate, of course, more black people went Democrat and this type of thing, but you're starting to really see a bigger divide on ideology versus race. Do you agree?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think we are still fundamentally dealing with a lot of people who feel privileged, and in feeling privileged that they look down on others on the basis of their color of their skin. I see that, Stevie Wonder could see that. We are in a divided country in large part because people have a fear of people that don't look like them.
Wow.
Both ways. Black people fear white people fear black people. And I think that, what we have to do is talk to each other, interact with each other, and try to do the best we can to remove the fears that we have on both sides. And That's the issue to me. And it goes way back. It goes back, hundreds of years, that people, for whatever reason, feel this need to separate themselves based on skin color. And even when the skin colors are the same and they find something else that separates them, their hair or whatever, for some reason, human beings just see this need to separate themselves based on things that have absolutely no substance at all.
Wow. Finally, I've got about 3 minutes left in the show. Just real quick, now that we are finally about to be past this election, unfortunately, I can't say we through with it yet, but now that we are about to be past it, do we get past COVID at this point? Now the politics is about to be out of the way. One of these guys going to have to deal with it one way or the other. Do you think we finally get COVID under control and by 2021 we can go back to normal?
I'd like to believe that, unfortunately, and again, you got to call it the way it is. If Donald Trump gets back in there, he's already said that he doesn't want to deal with this virus. He doesn't believe that this virus is as bad as being portrayed. He's already said that. He said that he's going to fire the one person that has the most knowledge.
I did hear that.
About this virus. And, so I'm very fearful that if he somehow is reelected, that we're going to see more people die. We're going to see more people get infected because he refuses. And he's already said that. I mean, he's not, when people tell you they're going to do something, you need to believe them. He said he's going to fire this guy. He said that he is not concerned about the virus, that it's not as bad as we think it is. So, and for no reason other than that, I'm praying that he doesn't get back in there because I don't want to see all these people die.
Amen. Once again, you hear it from the man himself, State House Representative Roger Bruce. Tune in Fridays on Facebook. Go and like Under the Gold Dome. And stay notified and tune in every Friday at 1 o'clock. You can hear directly from State House Representative Roger Bruce, State House Representative Derek Jackson. We always got some great guests on, but you can hear directly from your legislators exactly what's going on. Stay informed, stay engaged, because it's more than just this election. We still got a lot more to do.
And that's absolutely right.
So I did the promo for you. You owe me some money.
All right. Appreciate it, my friend.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
All right. Sorry it took so long to get on. I don't know what was going on.
That's all right. And also, all right. And then also thank you, Mayor of the Year, one last time, Miss Angelyne Butler, for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to unhandcuff you from the chair now.
Yes, I'm no longer a fill-in, right? I could go home.
I'm going to let you go back to Forest Park. Thank you so much for joining us. Once again, it has been another excellent episode of the #1 rated business show. Our first show on a Wednesday at 3 o'clock. So I hope everyone is enjoying the show. Everybody out there driving, everybody out there listening. Definitely save the number 404-603-8770. Y'all gonna have to find that recorded somewhere and rewind it. But save the number, call in, let us know how we're doing. I'd love to hear from our audience. And we'll be back next week, same time. And we will be live one more time. Thank y'all.